Computational science is a rapidly growing multidisciplinary field that uses advanced computing capabilities to understand and solve complex problems. Computational science fuses three distinct elements: algorithms and modeling and simulation software developed to solve science, engineering, and humanities problems. Computer and information science that develops and optimizes the advanced system hardware, software, networking, and data management components needed to solve computationally demanding problems. The computing infrastructure that supports both the science and engineering problem solving and the developmental computer and information science. In practical use, it is typically the application of computer simulation and other forms of computation from numerical analysis and theoretical computer science to solve problems in various scientific disciplines. The field is different from theory and laboratory experiment, which are the traditional forms of science and engineering. The scientific computing approach is to gain understanding, mainly through the analysis of mathematical models implemented on computers. Scientists and engineers develop computer programs, application software, that model systems being studied and run these programs with various sets of input parameters. In some cases, these models require massive amounts of calculations and are often executed on supercomputers or distributed computing platforms. Numerical analysis is an important underpinning for techniques used in computational science. Applications of computational science. Problem domains for computational science. Scientific computing include numerical simulations. Numerical simulations have different objectives depending on the nature of the task being simulated. Reconstruct and understand known events. Predict future or unobserved situations. Model fitting and data analysis. Appropriately tune models or solve equations to reflect observations, subject to model constraints. Use graph theory to model networks, such as those connecting individuals, organizations, websites, and biological systems. Computational optimization. Optimize known scenarios. Machine learning. Methods and algorithms. Algorithms and mathematical methods used in computational science are varied. Commonly applied methods include numerical analysis, application of Taylor series as convergent and asymptotic series, computing derivatives by automatic differentiation, computing derivatives by finite differences, graph theoretic suites, high-order difference approximations via Taylor series and Richardson extrapolation, methods of integration on a uniform mesh, rectangle rule, trapezoid rule, Simpson's rule, Runge-Kutta method for solving ordinary differential equations, Monte Carlo methods, molecular dynamics, linear programming, branch and cut, branch and bound, numerical linear algebra, computing the Lie factors by Gaussian elimination, Cholesky factorizations, discrete Fourier transform and applications, Newton's method, space mapping, time-stepping methods for dynamical systems, programming languages and computer algebra systems commonly used for the more mathematical aspects of scientific computing applications include R, TK Solver, MATLAB, Mathematica, Scilab, GNU Octave, Python with SciPy, and PDL. The more computationally intensive aspects of scientific computing will often use some variation of C or Fortran and optimized algebra libraries such as BLAS or LAPACK. Computational science application programs often model real-world changing conditions, such as weather, airflow around a plane, automobile body distortions in a crash, the motion of stars in a galaxy, an explosive device, etc. Such programs might create a logical mesh in computer memory where each item corresponds to an area in space and contains information about that space relevant to the model. For example, in weather models, each item might be a square kilometer, with land elevation, current wind direction, humidity, temperature, pressure, etc. The program would have calculate the likely next state based on the current state, in simulated time steps, solving equations that describe how the system operates, and then repeat the process to calculate the next state. The term computational scientist is used to describe someone skilled in scientific computing. This person is usually a scientist, an engineer, or an applied mathematician who applies high-performance computing in different ways to advance the state-of-the-art in their respective applied disciplines in physics, chemistry, or engineering. Scientific computing has increasingly also impacted on other areas including economics, biology, and medicine. Computational science is now commonly considered a third mode of science, complementing and adding to experimentation, observation, and theory. The essence of computational science is numerical algorithm or computational mathematics. In fact, substantial effort in computational sciences has been devoted to the development of algorithms, the efficient implementation in programming languages, and validation of computational results. A collection of problems and solutions in computational science can be found in Steep, Hardy, and Stoop, 2004. Reproducibility in open research computing. The complexity of computational methods is a threat to the reproducibility of research. John Claerbout has become prominent for pointing out that reproducible research requires archiving and documenting all raw data and all code used to obtain a result. Nick Barnes, in the Science Code Manifesto, proposed 5 principles that should be followed when software is used in open science publication. Tomi Kaupinen al. established and defined linked open science, an approach to interconnect scientific assets to enable transparent, reproducible, and transdisciplinary research. Journals. Most scientific journals do not accept software papers because a description of a reasonably mature software usually does not meet the criterion of novelty. Outside computer science itself, there are only few journals dedicated to scientific software. Established journals like Elsevier's Computer Physics Communications publish papers that are not open access. To fill this gap, a new journal entitled Open Research Computation was announced in 2010. It closed in 2012 without having published a single paper, for a lack of submissions, probably due to excessive quality requirements. A new initiative was launched in 2012, the Journal of Open Research Software. In 2015, a new journal dedicated to the replication of computational results has been started on GitHub. Education. Scientific computation is most often studied through an applied mathematics or computer science program, or within a standard mathematics, sciences, or engineering program. At some institutions, a specialization in scientific computation can be earned as a minor within another program. However, there are increasingly many bachelor's and master's programs in computational science. Some schools also offer the PhD in computational science, computational engineering, computational science and engineering, or scientific computation. There are also programs in areas such as computational physics, computational chemistry, etc. Related fields: bioinformatics, cheminformatics, chemometrics, computational archaeology, computational biology, computational chemistry, computational economics, computational electromagnetics, computational engineering, computational finance, computational fluid dynamics, computational forensics, computational geophysics, computational informatics, computational intelligence, computational law, computational linguistics, computational mathematics, computational mechanics, computational neuroscience, computational particle physics, computational physics, computational sociology, computational statistics, computer algebra, environmental simulation, financial modeling, geographic information system, high-performance computing, machine learning, network analysis, neuroinformatics, numerical linear algebra, numerical weather prediction, pattern recognition, scientific visualization,